This conference will now be recorded.
Guys, so today is Thursday, September 5th, and as always, everything that we're going to be going over today is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. Time for classes. Classes begin on next week. They will be at 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. And then the week afterwards, we do 9:15, basically as soon as we're done with our morning meeting, and then 3 in the afternoon. All right. So we got a bunch of stuff going on this morning. So first thing I'm going to be looking at is CIEN. So the one thing about this is that 39 level is very, very mixed. But really what I'm looking at is some of the prints, that came in before there. So we definitely had selling coming in around that 40-25 level, but we're kind of too far away from there. So we can look over here at 39. Now it got new selling to come back in, but we definitely got a little bit of covering that came in afterwards, which is just a little bit it's just too mixed. So at this moment, really, what we're going to be looking for is for this to kind of get away from that 39 level, and we just need some type of better, more definitive show of hands. Now, obviously, it's in a downtrend right now, so a downtrend is going to add toward, a short trade would add towards your percentages, but overall, there's just not, like I said, it's just too mixed sitting there at that 39. So you got a little bit of new selling, but we have seen mostly covering coming in at this point. So keep that in mind. Next thing looking at is work, so Slack. All right, so Slack, this is another interesting one because it's just like almost like everything. Just we saw the same thing kind of yesterday, but we don't really have that definitive show of hand. You can see that 2650-ish to 27 is all just very, very mixed. You're getting nice big bursts of sell prints, followed by big bursts of ask prints coming into there. Yeah, we got some nice prints on that 27 bid side of things, but just again, not really enough. Now, they obviously took a hit with earnings last in the aftermarket. So it's really not trading as much as I would have expected. Even though it's got 825,000 shares, you can see it really hasn't moved much. And based off, on top of that, excuse me, there's just, you can see the gaps that we see between there. So just not really much going on in it yet, but it certainly should be making some type of better move today. Next thing we're looking at is CLDR. So CLDR, we had some bid prints coming in at that 8 level. We made a nice little move towards that upside in the aftermarket yesterday, and now moving into today. So unfortunately, I'm just not seeing as much new buying in here as you would ever expect. So we definitely have, if we go all the way back to early this morning, you can see we definitely have a little bit around that 820 area, 830, but for what we'd be looking at, I just don't see enough. For such a cheap stock that's essentially up 12% this morning, I just don't see as much as I would like. So coming into that 8 level, we certainly need to see more new buying than 3 ask prints coming in there for this to show us that we're going to be going back towards that upside. Now, keep in mind as well, though, this is shortable, and it's not even hard to borrow shortable. So we're going to be looking. If we continue to see this selling coming in and we don't get that new buying, we're going to be looking for this thing to come all the way back down around these print lines. You can see there's a lot of congestion right there. Obviously, it looks like that person that came into these are in the print lines are on the long side of things for this move up. But overall, once these cheaper stocks, they kind of make those moves, a lot of times we just see them end up coming right back down. So not really much there, but we'll be looking. Next one, PANW. PANW. Wow, Roku. I'll get to that in a second. Okay, but PANW, this is another one where it's got a $5 range on average. So this thing is going to be a big mover. Now, we haven't really seen much yet, but it doesn't typically really trade at all during the pre-market. So you can see we already have 163,000 shares. We're going to be expecting a way bigger range than what we usually see. So I haven't seen a show of hand yet, especially around this 220 area, that I'm comfortable with, really deciding with the direction coming into it yet. But overall, when we get a nice, few prints, a nice show of hand that comes into this thing should move away from your entry very, very quickly. Because it usually moves a lot. So I have to keep this one on our list. It's just we haven't really gotten those prints to come back in here yet, and that's what we're going to be waiting for. Next thing looking at is Roku. This is not a great day from trading from my, careful with pen, it's not great day trading from my watching. Yeah, well, today's a little bit different because it doesn't usually trade much. So we'll see what's going on there. But let's talk about the best show of hand that we got right now, and that obviously is Roku. Roku, huge selling for the pre-market, coming into that 170 level. Unfortunately, it's just come on, pretty much just tanking down from there. So overall, we know exactly where it needs to be, but at the same time, it never really pulled up from where our prints came back in. So we're going to need to see that, unfortunately. Otherwise, it's just going to, based off of what we see going on right now, this thing's just going to be a wild card coming into the morning. So keep that in mind if you're on the low, the newer side of being a trader. This is going to be, it looks like we're just going to get a little bit crazy today. Exactly, exception. So you just make sure that you understand that going into it, because this thing can move. We know that, obviously we know that big time. Where does it need to be? Well, lower than 170, which it already is. 122.03. So we've already, you can see that all those prints that came in at 170, we're already $2 away from them. So obviously, we're just going to need some more prints to come back in. But this guy is looking to make more than $2. That is a lot of selling that came into there. All right. So anything else out there that I missed? Anything else out there that I missed? We can take a look. All right, DOCU. Nada 6,000 shares this morning. No real prints. We have Lulu doing absolutely nothing. 23,000 shares. No prints. And CRWD. Nothing going on. But okay, keep an eye on those. Earnings after hours. Okay, cool. Then Key said GBT. So unfortunately, GBT just hasn't done anything yet this morning. I don't see anything. I mean, it's got 181,000 shares, which is definitely different. But if you look, it's trading very quantity and mostly in between. And all these prints are bigger, longer-term prints that we can't really do anything going into with this morning. So definitely up a whole bunch, but just not really much that we can do with that one. SIG, let's take a look. Yeah, so I was looking at SIG before, but this is a weird one because as we're coming back up, I completely forgot about SIG. Okay, but as we were coming back up, look, we got all these sell prints at 14. So we didn't get any new buying up here. We got a huge amount of selling. So I think that's kind of why I just stopped paying attention. But definitely we'll keep our eyes on that. That was just weird for me to see because I was actually watching it at the time when these prints came back it's on my other screen, and it's just yeah, very interesting. But yeah, definitely 100%. So we got a whole bunch of selling coming back up there, which tells us that the stock jumped up on really not that great a volume. If you look at most of this move, the volume's absolute garbage. So with this amount of selling, if we keep seeing that selling coming back in, we're going to come right back down from where we started. So absolutely, Tracy. Excuse me, Jack. And next, what was the other one? No, I think that's it. Apple, excuse me. Let's take a look. I don't really see anything this morning based off. Yeah, nothing really going on yet. Nada. All right, guys. So let's get ready for our morning. We got a pretty long list. I think we got 6 this morning. So definitely a lot of stuff for us to look at. Let's make sure we have patience. We wait for that show of hand, and we execute the way that we know how to. All right, guys. I'll see everyone in the chat, and happy trading.